Tastes just like the real deal. We are making a bloomin' onion at home. You guys are gonna be surprised how easy this is, and of course, we're gonna make the secret sauce. Hi friends, my name's Christina. If you're new to the channel, my sister Carrie and I run eatingonadime.com, and we are on a mission to teach real families how to make real food at home on a budget, and we love a good copycat recipe. We love it making all of our restaurant favorites at home, and Carrie and I both are obsessed with the bloomin' onion. It's probably one of our all-time favorite appetizers to get when we're going out, and this at-home version tastes even better. All right, as always, I've linked the recipe in the description below, and if you like copycat recipes as much as we do, we have a digital cookbook in the description as well that you can check out. First, we're gonna make the sauce. I like this to chill, so we're gonna let it chill while we're making the onion. So first you need mayonnaise. You wanna start with a half a cup of mayonnaise into like a mixing bowl. Make sure not to use Miracle Whip. You want real mayonnaise for the best flavor in this recipe. Now add in 2 tablespoons ketchup. And if you're like me and you don't like mayonnaise or ketchup, still try this because I like this. So the combination you might feel differently about. And then 2 tablespoons horseradish. Now it's time to add the seasonings. We're gonna start with a half a teaspoon of paprika. You guys, I think we made this like 3 times to make sure it was perfect. So trust me, it's great. And then a little bit of oregano. This is dried oregano. If you like to measure it, it's just 1/8 of a teaspoon, or you can just do a pinch. And then the cayenne pepper. This is what gives it that little kick. It's the horseradish and this gives it that delicious kick that I am obsessed with. And then of course, salt and pepper. We're gonna do a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and then a half a teaspoon of pepper. And that's it, guys. That's all the ingredients you need for the delicious homemade sauce. It is simple and mix until all the ingredients are combined. You can taste test it too, but it tastes better once it's chilled for a little bit. So just be aware of that when you taste test it. It might taste just a little bit off, and that'll fix itself once it's chilled. I'm gonna put this in the refrigerator while we make the onions. Now let's get those onions ready. This recipe makes 2 bloomin' onions. That's right, 2 for the price of 1. The cutting of the onion is the hardest but the most important part, but I promise it's not hard. I'm gonna walk you through it. In the instructions, we talk about the top and the bottom of the onion, so I just wanna show you, this is the top, and here where the root is connected at, that's gonna be the bottom of the onion. So here you can see top and bottom. First, cut off the top of the onion. And then peel back the skin. Now this one, I'm just gonna peel back this outer one, but sometimes the next layer can be kind of flimsy. If that's the case, you wanna peel back that one as well. My peel was being stubborn getting off, so I just made a slight slit in the first outer ring. We're just going to peel that off, making sure to leave this root bottom of the onion intact, because that's gonna hold this together while we make our bloomin' onion. Now it's been peeled, we're gonna lay it on the cutting board cut side down, and now it's time to cut the petals. So when you cut the petals, you want it to leave a little space from the root so it holds it together, and just cut it straight down the onion. You want them to be about a 1/2 inch apart, and cutting straight down, you can see that there, until you've cut all the way around the onion. This is gonna give it that classic bloomin' onion shape that we're all familiar with, and those amazing onion petals. Whew, I'm already getting hungry, friends. Once it's all cut, you wanna kinda turn it over and separate these layers a bit. Being careful not to detach it from the root. Now we're gonna heat up some oil. You wanna heat up, this is canola oil. You can use vegetable oil, canola, or peanut oil. In a large stock pot, Dutch oven, or you could do a fryer. You honestly just want enough that the onion can be completely submerged into the oil. So it's gonna be quite a bit just because they're kind of taller. I'm going to heat this over medium-high heat until it reaches about 370 degrees Fahrenheit. While the oil is heating up, we're going to get the onions ready for frying. So we need 2 bowls. You're gonna need the batter and the breading. And now I got some big bowls to make sure there's enough room for the batter and the breading to go all around the onion and in between the petals as well. In one bowl, whisk together 1 cup milk with 2 eggs. This is gonna be the batter bowl. Batter and breading. I always get those confused, so if I mix them up in the video, sorry, please forgive me. But the batter is generally the wet one. So in this one, our egg and milk mixture. Gently whisk it until those eggs are broken up and it's just all combined. Now let's make the breading. So we're gonna start with some flour, 2 cups. Look at this beautiful flour. And as always, guys, everything I'm using today is linked in the description below. So if you love my measuring cups, my flour canister, all the things, you can find it in the description. Add in a teaspoon of cayenne. I know it might sound like a lot, but it gives it a lot of flavor and it's gonna get mixed in with the flour. So don't be scared of that. And then 2 tablespoons paprika. 1 tablespoon garlic powder. And then 1 teaspoon dried oregano, a teaspoon black pepper, and then 2 teaspoons salt. And we use the Himalayan pink salt if you're wondering why. Just gently stir to combine that to make the breading. Now it's time to dip the onions. So remove the rings, friends. We're gonna set these aside. I don't want them to be coated in the batter and the breading. So you wanna gently pick up your onion, put it in the flour mixture, and I use my hands to make sure it gets coated into the onions. Gently making sure it's in between the petals as well. And you wanna be gentle with these because they are delicate and the petals can fall off. Carefully just shake off the excess flour. I like to hold it together so the petals do not fall off. We're gonna do the same thing in the batter, the egg mixture. You wanna make sure it gets around the petals and being really careful because this onion is fragile. That's why I like to use these big bowls because we have lots of ways to move them. Sometimes I just take it and scoop it in to get over the onion. That way I don't risk the petals getting broken off, but you do want to make sure you gently separate them like this and get in there, or you'll have like that petal will just have breading on it. Once it's got the batter on it, we're going to take it back over to the breading and do another coat of breading. So yes, you want 2 coats of flour and 1 of the egg mixture. Once it's coated, I like to just turn it over, support it with your hand, and just gently shake to get the excess flour back into the bowl because we're gonna coat the other one next. You want the oil to be 375. I like to use my meat thermometer to make sure. It's very important that it's at around the right temp so that the onion doesn't get too brown, but it still gets cooked all the way through. So we're at 390 and it's perfect. Using a metal slotted spoon, take that battered bloomin' onion and we're gonna put it right in the oil. Just gonna make sure it gets in there centered, and we're gonna let it cook for about 5 to 7 minutes. After it's done cooking, this is my slotted spoon. It works great. You just wanna carefully remove it from the oil. I let it sit here for a little bit to let that excess oil drip back off into the pan. After that oil's drained off, we're gonna put it on a plate lined with a paper towel to soak up any excess oil. Look how cute he is. Before you start to fry the next onion, make sure your oil comes back to temperature because frying the oil will lower the temperature. So I'm letting it heat back up, but I can't wait any longer. I gotta taste test this. So I got our sauce, put it in a cute little serving bowl, and I'm ready to try it. It's a little warm, but it's still perfect. Pull off a little petal, just like you do at Outback, dip it in. Better than Outback. And a little note, if you're having trouble getting the petals to pull off, you can take your knife and just run it around the center and it'll really release all those petals for you. So just test it a couple of times, and if they're not releasing easily, you can always do that. It's a little cheat code. Sometimes I have to do that even when I'm at the restaurant as well. That's it, friends. You can make your restaurant favorites easily at home. I hope you try this recipe, and then once you do, leave us a comment on the recipe itself, letting us know exactly what you think. And if you can't find the recipe, you can always Google Bloomin' Onion eating on a dime, and it'll pull right up for you every single time. Don't forget, this recipe is linked below. You can do all the things. Save it for when you're ready to make this the next time you have company over. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. We have lots of new recipes coming out for you, and I don't want you to miss out. All right, friends, I'm out of here. Thanks for joining me. I got some bloomin' onion to eat. You know how it is, right? Oh, maybe not. That one's stuck. All right, friends, I'm out of here. This onion is calling my name. Thank you guys so much for joining us in our kitchen. I will see you next time. And until then, remember, eat at home by eating on a dime. Bye, friends.